I have another big story for you guys that happened over the weekend. From the Post-Millennial, suspected Trump won flag arsonist identified using Strava after reward offered by Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, as well as John Kane, the man who posted the video in the first place. Now, I don't want to identify the individual just yet, the individual who's been named, but so I'm gonna not post anything from this just yet. But I will just say there is a viral video going around where a bicyclist rides up to a sign in someone's yard that says Trump won, starts kicking it, comes back later and sets it on fire. Comes back for a second time after it was rebuilt, sets it on fire again. In one of the videos, there's an American flag hanging above it. He tries pushing it out of the way, clearly expressing knowledge that he could be starting a major fire, and he didn't want to. He wanted to move the flag out of the way, but then it just falls right back and it shuts the fire anyway. He knew that this fire could have spread to the trees, burned down homes, potentially caused another major wildfire. But the good news is he's been identified, and so I had seen the video that said $1,000 reward for this. I offered $5,000. Benny Johnson quickly came out, offered another $5,000. And then a man in California identified the guy. Here's the crazy part. He was identified using his Strava bicycle, like GPS tracker. So basically these like people who go for jogs and bike will get this app, I guess, and it will show publicly the route you take. Somebody found the guy who's had a tattoo on his arm of like a teddy bear or something. And then they saw him in a news story, got his name, and then they looked up his Strava account because he's a bicyclist, and they found that he rode his bike in that area at the time of the arson. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Dude, it's amazing you had your Strava active while you were going to go commit a crime. Because I used Strava years ago, like probably 10 years ago, even less than that. And to have, it's very accurate as to where you were. To have that on just to get the claim for how many miles you did and while you're committing a crime in the middle of nowhere.
Arson,
like, I need my miles, though.
Now this one got some lefties really, really mad at me. And I got some messages where they're like, why are you offering a reward for this? And I was like, the dude committed arson twice, man. Yeah, the only way we de-escalate what's going on with all the extremism and the violence is if there is a neutral arbiter of the law that just says you cannot commit arson. The idea that there are lefties being like, this man should not be criminally charged for this just shows kind of how far gone we are right now in our cultural divide.
Yeah, that the guy didn't turn his Strava off indicates like, where's the brain power right now about
Zero.
People just committing crimes and thinking they're not going to get caught or get in trouble
they're
for
justified. Like maybe he was like, this sign is ruining the neighborhood. It's wrong.
They're insane.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's like a kid that has anger issues and gets thrown in juvie. Like sometimes you just got to face the music once to know what you're up against because the legal system does not give a fuck.
And I think we should all be against arsonists. I know that's a strong stance to take, but I'm willing to say, like, if you're going to burn someone's private property down, I think that's bad. We should collectively agree.
If he went back twice and he still had it going, just to record the extra miles, to get the extra miles in his account, that's amazing.
I hope that the threat of potentially burning down the house and the area around the fire adds extra charges to this guy.
Oh, he's got to get like attempted murder. I mean, I don't see him doing it, but there's got to be some charges. So Benny Johnson tweeted that apparently this guy has already confessed to the police. They came by and said, did you do this? He said, yes. And, to varying degrees, he may or may not have been crying when he confessed to having done it. I think this guy is so riddled with Trump derangement syndrome that his brain doesn't work. So when he rides his bike, a normal guy just rides the bike. You see a sign you don't like, you roll your eyes.
Right.
He loses it, completely loses it. And then commits arson on 2 different occasions.
Did he know the guy whose house it was?
Nope.
Because that would make it premeditated.
Nope.
I can't imagine getting that mad over anything, to be quite honest.
Well,
like,
maybe he
I don't
rode
get that.
past it every day for months.
And there's
he
just stewing in
lost
there.
It.
Actually, is premeditated arson more of a crime than just on a whim?
I mean,
because he went back the second time.
We must ask a lawyer, but you're right. Going back the second time shows that he had
he went there to light it on fire.
He went back a couple days later too. It's like he isn't that correct? Like he must have really went home and stewed on it so much. He's like, I gotta go burn that thing down.
Let me play the video for everybody.
Okay.
I just want to. I don't look. Here's the thing. Innocent until proven guilty. So people are putting out his name and everything right now, which was the intention. My intention with the reward is what I said was information that leads to the arrest and conviction of this individual. I'm not going to be posting his name or anything like that. His name is on all the news articles, so it can be easily looked up. But I think the evidence is pretty damning. the identification that they have for him, but innocent until proven guilty. So here's the video. Here you can see on August 12th, he rides up, just starts kicking it.
For being a bicyclist.
No, but here's the crazy
In
thing.
broad
Weak
daylight.
legs.
Look at, no, but why is he kicking it?
He's also trespassing.
Yeah, absolutely. What does kicking the sign do other than he's just very, very angry? That's
He
it.
probably wants to break it, right? He wants it to be ripped. That way people can't read it as easily.
But he didn't even
He's
get off his
thinking-
bike.
He's thinking about lighting on a fire
He's
right
not
now.
as mad as he
He's
could
thinking
be.
about it.
It's his
He's
getaway.
like, it's made of wood. I'm
Well, it's
gonna
August
get
12th, 7:14 a.m.
Now
When did he
watch.
come back?
He comes back, I think, that night.
15.
Oh, no, a day
he
later.
stewed on
Look at this.
it.
Look at this.
4:20 in the morning.
So see how he tries to move the flag out of the way?
He got on his
He
bike right
knows
early.
he could start a major fire. And then it just falls right back. It didn't do anything.
And he came prepared with a lighter. Like,
Is that just
Oh,
like
that's premeditated.
it's like
for
a
sure.
big lighter.
yeah, it's,
Yep.
it's not like a lighter that you use to, like, I don't know, smoke or whatever. You use it to start, like, your campfire.
grill, yeah.
Your candles.
This guy belongs in
I
prison.
love how
for
he
sure.
runs away.
He
Like,
needs to
yeah,
learn
man.
why
That
you
is-
don't set
Well, he
things
doesn't
on
want to get
fire.
burned, Serge. Of course he
Right,
ran
yeah,
away.
it's such a huge
It's fire.
It could have been
It's
a huge fire. It
dangerous.
really could.
So
but-
he destroys it. But here's the thing. He comes back several days later.
To the scene of the crime.
So John Kane, who owns it, fixes the sign. And here you can see, it says February 18th. John Kane issued a correction saying it's August 18th. Here he comes once again.
4:20 in the morning.
Yep.
Same time. What the heck?
He's out there with a lighter.
This is
That's
pathological.
Suspicious.
He just blazed.
Then
I
he
mean,
runs
that's
off.
that's
Look
like
at
a
this.
kitchen lighter, so I don't know.
This guy's nuts.
At 4:20.
And they offered a $1,000 reward. You can see he had a tattoo of I think it's a pig maybe on his arm. But
People in the chat were saying the pedo bear from 4chan, but I don't
No,
know if
it's
that's
not.
accurate.
It's
Nah, I don't think
probably
it is.
something to do with pigs. That would make
yeah, there's like a pig on it or
Sense.
something. But they found him. They found him because what's he doing? He's like riding his bike at 4 a.m.
That's a
And he-
biker thing, though. They're
No,
crazy.
that's normal. That's fine. I'm saying, but like then he stops to commit arson on 2 occasions.
That's so crazy, man.
This guy, you know, he's not going to go to prison. What's going to happen is they're going to offer him some kind of plea deal. It's a first offense. They're going to say, you know, you never do this again. He'll have to pay a fine. I don't know though. Arson's pretty serious.
But he did it twice. You know?
And the fact that he moved the flag means that instantly he knew if this fire spread and it took this flag, the trees around it, everything could go up. So John Kane, the guy who, I'll pull up his Twitter. I don't want to, let's see here. So here's John Kane, and here's a video he posted. I'm not going to play the full video, but he points out right here, you can see that the sign right here, let's see,
It's just a flag.
attached to the trees. Now, here's the important thing about wildfires. They travel up trees and then across the top of them. And that's the point he's bringing up, that this sign is right next to the flag. This guy tried moving out of the way knowing that if the fire spread up this, it could get into the trees. And if it was a dry day, those trees go up, it spreads around, and how many
the entire neighborhood.
How many houses could have gone down because of it? So we got him, ladies and gentlemen.
Does Kane have any say in if this guy gets prosecuted, or is this all federal out of his hands at this
So
point?
here's the other thing. James Lawrence, a lawyer from Envisage Law, yeah, we got it right here, was retained to file civil suit against this guy who committed this. And now that we know who he is and that he's, according to sources, confessed to the crime. Well, I mean, actually, perhaps considering that he's confessed, let me pull up Benny Johnson's tweet and see what Benny said about this. Because then we'll show his name if he's confessed to it. I'm trying to be careful here, you know? Trying to be careful. Let me
Yeah,
see
it's
what-
hard because you don't want to jump the gun and stick the internet on him. On the
Just,
other hand,
right, just
it's
because
pretty bad.
just because someone posted a photo of a guy
doesn't mean it's
that
this
is him
guy.
from
Yeah.
a different area doesn't mean it's the right name. That's what I'm concerned about.
What do they call it?
That's why I want the police to be involved first.
This where the reduce harm, is that one of journalistic tenets? Is
Minimize harm.
Minimize harm. Man, that's something that needs to be taken seriously today. With all these doxing crap, people saying each other's names, reposting videos of this and that, like minimize harm.
But Benny is very confident, outright saying it is this guy who did this thing. I mean, that's bold. As we have already shown with like the post-millennial, typically in this space, people are very careful with direct statements of fact, especially on criminal activities. But for Benny Johnson to outright say this is it, according to my sources, the man has admitted to the crime, and we are waiting to see if the DA will charge him. I'm going to hold off on saying his name. You can easily find it. Benny Johnson's reported it. The Post-Millennials reported it. John Kane's tweeted it out. But I'm going to hold back because if the DA brings charges, then we absolutely can say the guy's name. But for the time being, I think the important factor here is we're not backing down. This is the legal way to take care of things. It is the peaceful way to take care of things. And you must understand The Democrat machine going against Trump, guys like this, they desperately want a violent reaction. And so when I see these people on X, aka Twitter, that are either anti-Trump or just like super pro-Trump but black-pilled saying, there's no way to win, the deep state, I'm just like, stop listening to those people. Look, this guy has been found out. He's going to get sued. We'll see if he gets charged. And just won $300,000 against people who attacked him. These are victories. You've got Bud Light's collapse. You've got Target's collapse. You've got Sound of Freedom. We got other news we didn't even mention. Richmond, north of Richmond, debuts Billboard Hot 100 #1.
Oh,
that is
huge.
the highest chart in the world for music. Richmond, north of Richmond, #1. We are winning all across the board. The things they're doing are acts of psychotic desperation. We need to stick to the legal path. We need to make sure we are handling everything procedurally, and we're going to win this.
I also think that people from this strata of culture will sell each other out. So if one of them commits a crime and then the other one gets $10,000 to turn him in, he'll turn him in.
Absolutely. Yep.
What do you think would have happened if it hadn't turned into wildfire, but if the Trump sign and the flag had burned? Would the charge be a hate crime then? Like, at what point was he trying to avoid things being worse by he didn't want the tree to catch fire, but also is there an implication where he wanted to avoid burning the American flag?
Well, I don't think.
I'm just curious. I don't have an answer.
Burning the American flag isn't a hate crime. Even though
attached to a political sign, it feels
politics is not a protected
worse.
class.
That's true.
I don't think this guy intentionally wanted anyone to die, but here's my assessment of this man. I'm willing to bet this guy sits at home watching the news, praying for the death of Trump supporters. I don't think he intentionally. I don't think he wanted his arson to kill anybody. However, take into consideration the hatred he has and the willingness to commit arson, and his feelings are completely irrelevant. He committed a criminal act that could have resulted in the death of a lot of people. And that's what matters.
It's so crazy how people can get so twisted from watching mainstream media news, from watching too much MSNBC, too much Rachel Maddow, too much anything, probably too much Tucker Carlson, maybe could drive people insane too. But the fear, the thought that a guy can ruin it all. Hitler didn't do it alone. Hitler did it because he had thousands of people working together. I mean, to be honest, I can't speak for exactly, but it wasn't just a guy can go ruin everything. This whole fear of Donald Trump is it just empowers the demon. I can't say, I wish that I could say this a little more articulately, but it really, really disappoints me and makes me nauseated to see how people become afraid of a single man. It's disgusting. And it neuters people's ability to create and to become powerful forces for themselves. I've seen it happen to my friends in LA. It's just so depressing.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.